Hi friends, did you know you can actually predict where the end zone will finish in Apex Legends? There are maps which show where the zone can't finish and where the zone is likely to finish in Apex Legends Season 17, and that's what I'm going to talk through in today's video. We'll focus on Kings Canyons, end zones, and then I'll do follow-up videos for World's Edge and Olympus, and that will then cover all the Season 17 maps and allow you to jump to the relevant videos depending what map is in rotation. In case you're wondering how the end zone maps help you, put simply, they'll aid your game positioning and planning throughout the game, and this will help you particularly in ranked where placement and positioning are extra important this season. So this is the Kings Canyon map. The red circles here show you where the zone can't end, and this is the first useful part about knowing where to position. If you're in any of these red areas for later zones, this will let you know exactly where the zone isn't going to end. So if you're in one of the red circles, you pretty much know you're going to have to move towards the end zone. Again, this can help you choose where to reposition more accurately and also where to target your fighting. For example, if you know there's a team that's in a red zone and a team that's in the green zone, you might actually be better off targeting that team in the green zone because you know the zone's going to pull that way and you're going to eventually have to end up being there. So you might as well fight the team that has the better position so you can then take command of that better position. One other thing you'll notice about all these red zones, they pretty much cover all the buildings and higher mountainous areas which are harder to reach. And that means typically the final zone will be out in the open somewhere. And that's where we can add in the second set of useful data. Over the top here you now see the green zones, which show you where the zones will potentially finish. Now I will say I did some testing of these and there were a few zones which finished just outside the green circles, but for the most part, most were either in the circle or at least around the circle. For example, in this end game, you can see it's ending near labs and it's in an almost identical location to the green circle on the map that I'm showing you. So the green circles definitely give you a good rough idea of where that final zone positioning is going to be. Another tip is that the circles do tend to pull in the same direction. For example, if the circle pulls more to the right side of airbase in zone 2, even though it's a big zone, you know it's likely going to finish around the right side of airbase rather than the left side. Likewise, if a zone's pulling more centrally, then you know it's likely to finish in a more central area rather than on the edge of the map. You'll also notice there are some clear points of interest on Kings Canyon where the zone doesn't really have many finishing points. Large parts of repulsor, crash site, runoff, and capacitor are essentially all red, which actually is a good thing because it means your planning should be a lot easier because you know exactly where the zone's likely to finish in these locations. If you then combine this knowledge with the previous tip on looking at the direction the zone's pulling, this can really help you be aware of where and how you want to plan your movement through the game. For example, maybe you want to hold buildings that are closest to the green circles. Maybe you want to leave the red zones early and go loot other areas because you know the zones can't finish there. Or maybe it will allow you to just simply focus where you're fighting teams to ensure you're always taking the best positions for where the end zone's going to be. And you can pretty much apply this logic to the whole map. No matter where the zone's pulling, you'll always be able to see roughly where the red and green circles are based on this map I'm showing you. Now one thing I would say is that I don't recommend just trying to hold a green circle for the whole game, given they're pretty much all out in the open, and that means they're going to be hard to defend for the whole game. So if you're one of those kinds of players that do like to rotate around the map and loot different locations, then you definitely still want to be doing that through the game. And that means this map is potentially something you just start using when you get to kind of zone 4 onwards. On the flip side, if you find the circles pulling to a location you're already on, you can definitely work on setting up your position nice and early based on where the red zones are and where the green circles are. And there you have it. That's the Kings Canyon end zones map. Feel free to keep this video open as you play to give you an idea of where the map positionings are. A big thank you to Apex Legends Status for actually creating this map, and I will put a link in the description if you want to go ahead and check that out for yourself. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss part 2 and 3 covering World's Edge and Olympus. But for now, thanks for watching and I'll catch you later.